Hey guys, what's going on? It's Bacon. Welcome back to another Elestrals Moonrise reveal reaction video. We're going to get straight on into this one. This seems to be the Thunder episode, so we're going to get into this. There was one thing about this that was spoiled for me, and I'll tell you guys what that is when we get to it, but let's quickly get to it first.
I hope you guys are charged up for an epic set of Moonrise reveals. The Thunder element gets its love today. Let's dive in.
Let's go Thunder. So I guess I might as well talk about Thunder in regards to like how I talked about fire and water in the previous videos where we got those elements revealed. Thunder right now is in a weird spot where there really is only one way to play it. After the Spark It ban and Frostfall, Thunder was basically unplayable. And now with Arcalith released, you can actually play the deck in a way to just basically facilitate your runes without actually having to use your spear deck for them, because you can just put a boatload of them in Arcalith and you can use them off the Arcalith. And that has made Thunder a very, very powerful deck. Not a whole lot of tops, I will say, but Swolax did take Thunder to a victory in one of these Daybreak tournaments. So we'll see what Thunder can do moving forward. We do know that there is a new Nexuser. In fact, we basically know what that Nexuser is, as we saw it in the Elestrals Clash trailer. It is a Nexus form of Aphoros coming to Thunder. So we will get another Nexus form. Maybe Thunder Nexus can be back. We'll see.
We are counting down 32 days of Moonrise reveals until pre-orders open on November 15th, and we've got a ton of awesome cards to reveal today. But don't forget, you can back our Elestrals Clash Kickstarter right now and get early access to these reveals and support our incredible digital client. But let's dive into them, man, because we got a lot to talk about today. The first brand new Thunder Elestral that we are bringing to the table is none other than Electrifly. Electrify is a one attacker with one defense that is a one-cost Thunder.
So I will say this before we actually read the effect. So far there have been two 1/1s revealed in Moonrise so far, and I think both of them are very bad. I think one of them is unplayable. I think one of them has some potential. The one I think has some potential is Torchin. I still don't understand how on earth, I've even forgotten his name, Hypnosum. I still have no idea how Hypnosum is supposed to be used. So let's see what Electrify does.
And it's got a very powerful effect. You can disenchant a Thunder Spirit from this Electrify in order to search your deck for a 1-Spirit Thunder Elestral and add it to your hand. So you can cast out Electrify and send it to the Underworld and ultimately grab any 1-Spirit Thunder Elestral that you could possibly look for, whether it be Astrabit or something else.
Maybe. So it is a searcher for Thunder, which is one of the things that Thunder has not had for a while, is a searcher, whereas a lot of other elements, for example, Earth has a searcher in Rummagem. I know not a whole lot of decks are playing Rummagem anymore, but it has a searcher. Water has a searcher in Peloqueris, which again, they don't really play it, but still. Fire has two searchers. They have Stoke the Forge and Smoltuga. Smoltuga sees a significant amount of play because it's a 5 defender. So Smoltuga sees play. So like there are a lot of elements that have a searcher. Thunder was, I think, the only element other than Wind had its own searcher in Aeolus. Yeah, every single element in base set has a searcher other than Thunder. So now we have a searcher. The thing about this that I'm a little not too impressed by is the reason why Smoltuga sees so much play in fire decks, or decks that just need to hit a fire guy, is because it's a 5 defender. Rummagem is starting to see a whole lot less play in Earth because it's a 2/3, so therefore the effect... The search effect doesn't really matter a whole lot with Rummagem because it's not going to stick on the board. You really want a searcher to stick on the board or be a rune. The fact that this is a basically what Electrify does, it allows you to expend the draw, but rather than draw, not only are you giving up your normal cast, which is what expend the draw normally does, rather than drawing, you're searching your own guy. And sure, maybe maybe that can be fine, but I don't expect this to really see that much play. I think it's interesting. I think it's at least helpful that now Thunder has a Searcher, but I don't actually expect it to see that much play.
That I might reveal in this video. There's a lot of cool potential for this new Insectoid Elestral, and I hope you guys have a blast utilizing Electrifly to its fullest potential. Electrifly does indeed ascend into our first ever.
I do want to mention now, one thing that I didn't actually talk about. Electrify disenchants. So if you do find a way to get multiple spirits onto the Electrify and keep it around to get multiple searches, maybe it could be fine. I'm still not super convinced.
Utilizing Lunar Elestral, Electronite. Electronite is a 4 attacker with 6 defense with an insane Nexus effect. You can Nexus a Thunder or a Lunar Spirit. When this Electronite receives 1 or more Thunder, you can special cast an Electrifly from your hand or deck. This means that when you cast out Electronite and when you use the Nexus effect, you can swarm the field with Electriflies. And those Electriflies are insane because they allow you to search for more 1-cost Thunder Elestrals. Not to mention, when you activate your Electriflies effect, you can draw a card. So not only are you able to search your deck for tons of awesome 1-cost Thunder Elestrals, but you can take advantage of this engine by drawing and utilizing receive effects like Astrabit. This may be Astrabit's new best friend. Electronite looks to shock the competition in Moonrise. I've always loved Firefly.
Okay, sure. Very sure. Dude, it's true. I don't believe it. It's actually true. What on earth? So this is the part that got spoiled. I saw this post in my feed, and I was like, huh. Dude, this is literally true. This is like the exact same thing. They both get a guy from deck, and when you do something with that guy, you get to draw a card. What on earth? Like, it's the same card. It's Electromite, Electronite. It's the same card. You cannot convince me otherwise. You literally cannot convince me otherwise. Okay, but actually getting into this card, how good I think it is, I'm not convinced. I'm still not convinced. The fact that it is a 2-cost is a little upsetting. And yes, it is a 6 defender, which can be fine. But I feel like if you're, for example, giving up an Astrabbit to go into an Electronite, I feel like that's a bad idea. I'd rather probably re-enchant the Astrabbit rather than just get an Electronite. So the fact that it is a Nexuser, sure, I'm really still not convinced. It can only Nexus 1. It's a 2-cost that can only Nexus 1. It has to receive to get its additional effect, and it focuses on, sorry about that, it focuses on you playing Electrify, which I've kind of already stated isn't a super amazing card. How exactly are you getting this card out if you need to use Electrify's effect in order to disenchant? Well, you have to then, in that case, ascend over something like Astrabbit, like Jolton, like Toxion, like Elichick. I'm sorry, I'd rather have those cards on board rather than the Electronite. I'd rather use my normal cast on something else, so I don't think this card's actually super amazing.
New best friend, Electronite looks to shock the competition in Moonrise. I've always loved Fireflies, and I'm excited to bring Electrifly and Electronite to Elestrals. Something about my childhood just shines through in these two. Up next is a brand new Nexus Elestral as well for Thunder, and that is Magneros. You guys know and love Aetheros from the water element. It has a new Nexus form that is a 2
So this is the card that was revealed in the Clash trailer. So let's see.
Attacker with 4 defense, 1 Thunder Spirit that says you can Nexus up to 2 Thunder. When you do, you can foretell cards equal to the number of Thunder Enchanted cards on your field and add up to 1 Thunder Enchanted Invoke Rune foretold this way to your hand. So Magneros allows you to...
Okay. So initial thoughts is that this card is not the best for its second effect. Its second effect does feel way too specific in that it can only grab so many cards. Right now, what? A 1 Spirit Invoke Rune? Oh, sorry, 1 Thunder Spirit Invoke Rune? What can that be? Mount Olympus? What's the removal from Frostwell? Race to the Top. Race to the Top. That's it. Currently, there's probably another Invoke Room you can get, but there's 2 cards. Am I mistaken, or is there more? Hang on, let me look it up real quick. Okay, I'm dumb. I said Mount Olympus. That's a stadium room, not an invoke. I was just thinking of one costs. It's race to the top only. This can only grab races. There's got to be more, right? There's still half the video remaining. There's got to be more.
Connects around, which provides support for the rest of your field, and based on the number of Thunder Enchanted cards on your field, you actually get to foretell that many cards. So if you have a Stadium, Magneros, and a Divine Rune, you get to foretell 3 cards. You can foretell up to as many Thunder Enchanted cards as you can fit on the field. So if you're able to swarm your opponent, Magneros is able to foretell further into the future. And then you get to add a Thunder Invoke Rune foretold this way to your hand. So Thunderstorm is obviously the big one. Race to the Top is...
Oh, I read that as 1 cost. No, okay, so it's any. Let me double check my search then. Let me get rid of the 1 cost. I assumed it was just 1 cost. So this can search Race to the Top and Thunderstorm currently, which to be fair, those are 2 good cards. But there's got to be something else, right?
Is another one that comes to mind, and there will be more in the future that are going to be revealed in Moonrise and beyond.
Okay,
I think Magneros is the type of card that really is going to get stronger down the road, but
well, yes, because you're going to introduce more cards. You're bound to introduce more cards that Magneros can search. Talking about this card in particular, though, the reason I don't think it's good, it's very specific. Its second effect, at the very least, is incredibly specific. First of all, in order for you to foretell a good chunk of cards, you have to swarm your field with a good chunk of cards. If you're going first turn, that's not a good card to play first turn. However, the reason why I think this card can actually be pretty decent is because, yes, it can search your Thunderstorms, it can search your Race to the Tops, inconsistently, mind you, but it can technically do it. But it's also an additional Nexuser that can Nexus to an Ashtrabbit, which is very powerful. For a lot of different reasons. That's very, very powerful. Thunder Nexus is probably going to be making a bit of a resurgence. I don't know if it's going to be the best deck. I would probably hazard to guess no, it won't be the best deck by a country mile. But I think this is an interesting card for Thunder Nexus that is... This is what Thunder Nexus should have been from the start. It should not have been an annoying deck that... made it so that not only you activate an Ashtrabbit 10 times in the game, but also hand rip your opponent. We should not be doing that. I think this is a good way to do it. Basically, Nexus onto an Ashtrabbit, get 2 cards from deck. That to me is cool because to get one of those cards is not consistently enough to happen. So there's a lot going on here. God, I'm burping all over the place. I apologize. There's a lot going on with this card. I think it can be good in Thunder Nexus specifically. I think outside of Thunder Nexus, this kind of sucks, though.
As and beyond, I think Magneros is the type of card that really...
Let's move on.
Including the strategy revolving around Thunderstorm that you'll see highlighted here momentarily. I love Magneros so much, we actually decided to put it on a signature counter.
Actually, I do want to mention, Brontoglow is going to feast with Magneros because they have a slightly more consistent way now of actually getting to Thunderstorm, which is what Funglow needs. Or Funguide? No, Funguide's the fire. Funglow? I forget its name. But Brontoglo's pre-ascension. Needs
called Magnetic Force Field. Magnetic Force Field is a 1-cost counter rune that allows you to shut your opponent.
First things first, I think Magnetic Force Field is a very, very interesting name for a card. I actually really enjoy
down
that.
When they try to force you to expend spirits. This essentially provides you some support against burn decks. This Magnetic Force Field can only be cast when an opponent activates a non-counter effect, so it doesn't work against counter runes that cause you to expend spirits. So it works against Eruption, it'll work against Toxion, Toxic Swarm, cards like that. Negate the effect, and that opponent must expend 2 spirits. So your opponent goes to cast an Eruption on you, they spend 2 spirits to play Eruption, and instead of you expending 3, you simply cast Magnetic Force Field for 1, and they have to expend 2 more. So it actually is kind of like your reverse card on them, and you actually end up dealing massive damage to them. Again, this is a card that I think could get strong in the future, and most certainly fits well into...
What? Why is... Okay, I want to say one thing. I think this card's cool. This card reminds me somewhat of Magic Cylinder. It's not the exact same because it's not when you attack, but I think it's a very interesting card. But what does Magneros have to do with this effect? They're 2 completely different effects. This feels like it's something that Toxion should have been the card art for, not Magneros. That I don't understand. Anyway, I do want to mention this card right now is very bad. It's very, very bad. I'm sorry. This is anti-burn, and burn is not a good deck right now. The only potentially good burn deck in the format right now is Wind Burn. And Wind Burn, I'll still be honest, it has yet to top. Maybe it did. Maybe it actually did top. I actually don't know that because I wasn't paying attention to the latest webcam tournament. Not webcam, app tournament. I really wasn't paying attention. I just saw who won. Fives won. I wasn't really paying that much attention. But this card currently is very bad. It's just an anti-burn card, and burn is not powerful right now. If burn ever becomes powerful, then this card will be incredibly powerful for Thunder. But the fact that it's not good right now, maybe Moonrise will give us more burn tools. I'm not entirely certain. I don't think this card's super amazing, though. As of right now, again, it can be... you can go a little further.
Side decks, especially if burn ends up becoming relevant. A very important piece of the puzzle, magnetic force field coming in Moonrise.
Wait, really important? What puzzle? Dan, what puzzle are you talking? Very important piece of what puzzle? It's a bad card. It doesn't do anything for Thunder because it's just it's a generic anti-burn. That's all it is.
Next is a new Thunder Elestral that was actually teased in our second lore chapter, and that is Titan.
My God, dude, I don't know why I haven't watched either of the lore chapters. I need to get on that, don't I? I absolutely need to get on that.
Titana Strike. Titana Strike is a Thunder Nexus of Titana stock that has 2 attack and 4 defense, and it's a 1-cost Thunder Elestral, and absolutely one of my favorite designs. When a player casts Thunderstorm, you can expend a Thunder Spirit in order to target and destroy an Elestral. This is insane.
This card has potential. I will say, I don't think it's good, but it's interesting. There's a lot of Thunderstorm support coming to us, and this is going to be a fantastic card to play in the Brontoglow deck. Brontoglow actually might be a pretty decent deck, if I'm being entirely honest. You could probably build Brontoglow and have it be pretty decent with Titana Strike in it as well, because you just have this and a fungi. What's it called? You know, I have my phone up right here. What's it called? I've completely forgotten the name of this guy. What on earth is it? Funglow. It's Funglow. Okay. So, Brontoglow. I knew it was Funglow. Got it. Okay. So, Funglow, for anyone who does not remember, Funglow is a 1/1. Thunder Enchanted Elestrals get +1. +1 attack. When a player casts Thunderstorm, special cast a Brontoglow from your hand or deck. Which is insane because for anyone who doesn't remember what Brontoglow does, Brontoglow is not actually all that bad of a card. Brontoglow has the effect 6/5, 2-cost Thunder, disenchant a Thunder from your Funglow in order to suppress each Elestral on an opponent's field until the end phase. In Yu-Gi-Oh terms, this is basically cast MST, special this guy from deck, and sacrifice your Funglow to Dark Rule or no more your opponent. When this Brontoglow destroys an Elestral in battle, special cast a Funglow from your Underworld. So it's a bit of a control style strategy. It's very, very powerful if your opponent has a bunch of receive Elestrals on their side of the field. You can just go Brontoglow, disenchant 1 in order to force them to try to use effects to Nexus onto that. So that no, my bad, no, that wouldn't even work because they would Nexus onto it, it would get suppressed, and then the second effect would not activate for the receive. So that doesn't actually even work. So Brontoglow though is very powerful because it's a 6 attacker that can negate all of your opponent's effects, and when it destroys an Elestral in battle, it gets an additional Funglow from your Underworld to just allow you to go off even further and potentially just continue that stride. Titanium Strike supports that strategy because Funglow already likes Thunderstorm and wants it to be activated. If you combine a Funglow and a Titanium Strike, not only are you special casting a Brontoglow from your deck, you're also blowing up an Elestral. I don't think it's good. I want to point that out again. I do not believe this card is good. That's a lie. I think it's good, but I don't think it's meta defining. It has potential to be insane, but I don't think it's quite there. There's one other
The
thing I want
fact
to
that you
talk
can
about.
play your
but
Titanostraga,
I'm gonna let A-Drive
you can pop
finish.
down a Thunderstorm, and you can destroy an Elestral and a Rune simultaneously is absolutely bonkers. This card...
Now, yes, that's bonkers. The issue is that that's costing you 4 spirits to do that. So I don't think it's the best thing in the world.
It has a lot of potential, and you can already see the synergy with Magneros being able to help you find those Thunderstorms a little faster. Look for Titanostrike and Thunderstorm.
Man, I want to make a Brontoglow deck now. Like, I'm not, no joke, I want to make a Brontoglow deck. This actually seems very insane for Brontoglow.
Decks to get even more love and support in the future. Funglow and Brontoglow, I'm looking at you. We're not done with this one yet, let me tell you. Titanostrike and Moonrise is going to be awesome. But what if I told you can get Titanostrike just a little bit early, as it actually is an alt art card in Shattered Stars Scorpio for November 1st. We've been hyping up our incredible new pack of Shattered Stars featuring the constellation arts of Toxion. I told you about the Galvenom coming. I told you about the Sugimosby Larvacell coming. And now you have a chance to get Titanostrike, which will be legal on December 1st before Moonrise comes out. This card has an alternate art in Shattered Stars, and you'll get a little early access there with Titanostrike. So don't miss out on that. Make sure you guys subscribe to Shattered Stars
really
today.
nice, yeah.
I'll have more reveals for our Scorpio pack soon, but otherwise we've got...
Okay, real quick. I want to back up real quick. Can I... What? I'm sorry. I think this art is cool, but what on earth is going on in here? I don't know. I don't know what is happening. This doesn't look like an Elestral. Like, I come over to the alt art and I get a better idea. It's a giant, basically, Brontosaurus that has its head in the clouds. Okay, cool. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see, maybe it's just because it's way too high up. I don't see its head. I don't see its head, and I barely see its body. I can't tell what's going on. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening. I think the art is cool, but it's very similar to me to Lord of Heavenly Prison from Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? It's like, the art is cool, but what on earth is going on in it? Look, I don't know. I seriously just do not know. And this isn't supposed to be me being like, oh, this artist did a bad job. No, I think the artist did a pretty good job. I think this is a really cool artwork of an Elestral. I just don't see the Elestral. Like, that's the issue. I think it's too panned out. I think it needs to be more panned in to the actual Elestral. And maybe it's just because it's so big that, like, you have to pan it out that far. I don't know. I can't see it. I just can't see it. I don't really know what's going on. Also, how is this Titanostock? How is this a Nexus form of Titanostock? That I also don't see. Like, this seems like its own thing. I can kind of see it if we look at this, but this looks like its own guy. This absolutely does not look like a Titanostock to me. I don't see Titanostock in the art, which is weird because it's supposed to be a Titanostock. Either way, that's for another time. Whatever. It's totally fine. Guys, these reveals are interesting. I think Brontoglow is actually a very, very interesting deck now. I'm still not really interested by Electrify and Electronite. I still don't think these are super amazing cards. I think they have some amount of potential, but I really don't see the vision. No, not Aphoros. Magneros is actually pretty decent now. Now that I'm actually looking at it with the context of what we have with, like, the Brontoglow support cards, this card actually doesn't seem too bad. I could see this seeing play in Brontoglow, which might be a meta deck moving forward. We'll see. Brontoglow has tops. I also want to point that out. It's technically won a tournament. It just wasn't... There were Thunder Nexus decks that were side decking Brontoglows. I'm not entirely certain for what matchups they were looking for, but Brontoglow has technically won tournaments. People have seen it as good enough to at least side deck. So with this new kind of support, maybe there actually is a chance. So I think this is actually pretty interesting. The only issue I'm seeing with all these cards, it is very, very expensive. We need a new, like, archetypal healing for Thunder very, very fast, right? We really, really need that. We need something like Jatagua for Thunder. We need that, man, because right now, it ain't looking too hot for Thunder in terms of spirit efficiency. That's the issue, realistically, I have with it, is they're not very spirit efficient. But that's for another day. To be fair, this is a deck that needs a Nexus. So you're going to play Zeus, not only to get its effect, but also as a Nexus bank. And now you can also play Divine Healing in the deck to basically heal you up a little bit more. Ambrosia is also still there. So there's a little bit of like stuff that you can do with that. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. Actually, no, before I end it, let me just quickly talk about the remaining cards. I think this card sucks. This card's bad. Don't play it. It doesn't do anything. I'm sorry. This card doesn't do anything. In and out. I burp. Guys, I'm sorry that I keep burping. I'm sorry. I got off work a little later. Like, I was 17 minutes past my shift because there was something just was wrong. Don't worry about it. But I ate late. I'm still burping from it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think Titanic Strike, though, has a lot of potential. It's the same thing, though. You need healing. You need healing in order for this deck to really be good. I feel like if we get archetypal healing, then we are in a position. If we get the Chautauqua of Thunder, then I think this deck can actually go off. But until we get that, I think that's sort of just going to be the downfall of Thunder currently. But I do think these new cards are cool. I think a lot of them have a lot of potential, with the exception of Magnetic Force Field. That is the only card I don't see any potential in. But, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you slap the like button and subscribe for more. Hope to see you all guys in the next video. Goodbye.